It says we are live. We're going to wait just a minute because YouTube and StreamYard take a few seconds to get going. Guys, welcome to Clickbait and Coffee, the PM edition. So we're gonna kick it up. If you can hear me, give me a 2x4 in the chat. Hopefully Melanie and Greg and Shelly all are going to be here tonight because I just got off a meeting with them. In Truth in Advertising, I forgot about it. And Shelly texted me and she was like, hey, where are you at? And I'm like, why does it matter where I'm at? She's like, we've got a meeting. And I was like, oh, crap, I forgot all about it. All right, Miss Sharon, yes, Shelly has got it. All right, Bill is here. Hey, Bill, do you have piglets yet, Bill? So I know it was supposed to be, and since it's the last time I've been on here, I guarantee you got piglets. So, guys, I'm going to be busy tomorrow doing some stuff, and I wasn't going to be on. So I was like, let's just do a PM edition and get this in because I didn't want to miss out. So, but I will be busy all day tomorrow and won't have a chance to do this. I'm going to be out of town and doing a few things. But I'll tell you what, this weekend was a good weekend. I had fun. Greg New went with me to Self-Reliance Festival. And yes, Greg wants to see the chair. Okay, we were on a meeting. We were on a meeting with Shelly, Melanie, and Greg just a few minutes ago. And I was like, I'll be right back. I was like, I got to run to the bathroom. So I got up out of the bathroom. And then one of them said, look at Jason's cool chair. So here's the chair. It's nothing fancy. It's a Fortnite chair. It's my oldest son's chair that he had in his room that he had played video games with. And I was cheap. I was like, I need a nice chair. So it's a Fortnite chair. I don't game. I don't play Fortnite. I know what Fortnite is, but I've never played it. So, or actually I played it one time and I was like, this is stupid. I don't like it. So I was too cheap to go buy an office chair. And I'm like, his chair works. So I took it out of his room. He wasn't using it anymore. So yes, I do the show on a Fortnite chair. So, but I don't believe you used the word cool. Yes. And Greg. All right. It's just a chair. So now everybody knows my secret. I sat in a Fortnite chair. And then Bill says, no, apparently she didn't take. Bill, that stinks. So hopefully you'll get her bread pretty soon. So, all right. Saturday. Greg New, I picked Greg New up and we headed down to Self-Reliance Festival and met Shelly and Randy, her husband, and hung out at Self-Reliance Festival all day Saturday. It was a good time. They had it at a new place. It was Birdsong Marina. They used to have it over at John's place at SOE, but she changed up and had it at Birdsong. Birdsong is a nice place. She had a pretty good place to have it. There were quite a few people there. We got to watch some speakers, stuff like that. Several good vendors were hanging out there selling all kinds of stuff. I got to finally meet in person Jessica, combat midwife. I've talked to her, no telling how many times on the phone. And I finally got to meet her in person. We talked for a little bit. And then I met Brittany. Brittany used to work at Refuge. Now she does some stuff on her own. So I talked to her for a little while. I've talked to her probably 100 times on the phone, but finally got to meet her in person. I'm trying to think of who else. I got to see Callie Blackwell. Hadn't seen her in too awful long. And yeah, and then Shelly says, we had a great time at SRF. Ken Berry was good. And yes, and Grumpy was making cheese. And I hadn't seen Grumpy in a while since 2 festivals ago or something like that. So I talked to him for a few minutes. But yeah, it was good. Ken Berry, I'm going to try to get Dr. Ken Berry in July to come up to the next festival. Nicole was going to introduce me. He had too many people around him to talk to him after that. And I think he was scooting out after he talked. So I'm like, hey, Nicole, can you hook me up and get me a hold of him? So I want to try working on that. But it was a good day. We were down there pretty much all day. They had perfect weather. Underneath the tent was nice and shaded, and I had a good time. Greg told me he had a good time, and it was cool. I mean, we got an hour and 15 minutes each way. Greg just Greg and I got to sit there and talk about all kinds of different stuff. I mean, we talked about everything from medical stuff to retirement plans and everything in between. And let me see. I thought he was in Nashville, but his office is in Camden. I didn't know if he had the office in Camden or not. So, and then Bill says, I've been working my tail off, turning hopeful piles into action. Well, yeah, Bill's got all kinds of stuff that he's got from his neighbor that she's giving him all kinds of junk. So, junk and hopeful stuff. So, we spent Saturday down at Self-Reliance, and then Sunday, I was wiped out. I was drained. So, I kind of hung out Sunday. We had a meeting at church Sunday night. So, I went to the meeting at church, and then last night, it was darn near 11 o'clock before I got home. A couple of the guys stood out in the parking lot, and we were talking and everything like that. And I came rolling in almost 11 o'clock, and Whitney's like, "Where have you been?" I was like, me and a couple of guys were standing out in the parking lot just talking about stuff. And she's like, "Okay, that's fine." She's like, "I wasn't worried about you." She's like, "I just didn't know where you're at." So done that. And then today I went and did a little bit of work at my brother's house. And I had a bunch of other stuff to do. Had to run get some hay and stuff like that, stocking up on bales, and did some stuff like that, and then came home. And then, like I said, we just got off a meeting, and I was like, "Ooh, I forgot about that." So, all right, guys, don't forget, Homestead Meetup is October 25th, and that's going to be in Bowling Green. It is, it's at Western where we have the festival. That's going to be October 25th. Bring a dessert or a soup. And we're going to have all kinds of different soups. People are going to bring desserts, all kinds of stuff. I think Desiree, Greg's wife, is going to be bringing sourdough bread. Apparently, she makes awesome sourdough bread. And Greg's like, "Yeah, I'm going to have her bring some of that." So we're going to have bread, all kinds of good stuff. Shelly is going to do a soap making demo. So we're going to make some soap Saturday. And we'll have soap made. So then we can wash our hands before we eat. Good hygiene and all that. So we're going to eat lunch, and then Jessica, one of her daughters, is going to teach some first aid and stuff like that for your chickens. So, and let me see, I'm getting a text message. All right. Greg sent me a text message about something. But yeah, so Jessica, Shelly's daughter, is going to do chicken first aid and care and stuff like that. And then also, Shelly put up here the link to register for the Homestead Meetup. It doesn't cost anything to come to it. We just like to know if you'll register with us, and then that way we know how many people are going to be coming, and we can kind of plan ahead on something like that. So, Shelly, do you want to jump on here? Shelly, if you're not busy, jump on, and you can jump on here with me, and you can help me out with all this good stuff. So, Shelly knows how to get on. She's hooked on StreamYard, so if she wants to jump on, she can do it. And then Melanie, "Hey y'all, soup sounds good right about now." Yes, it's been like a rainy day here today. So it's rained on and off and that kind of stuff, and it's not been a real super cool day. Look, Shelly's jumping on. All right, Shelly, it's like I just saw you a minute ago.
Wait a minute, you're talking on the thing. I got to stop this.
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
all right, you're good. Everything. Yeah, but tell them all about. Tell them. So after, if they come to the Homestead Meetup, they're going to learn to make soap, and then we can wash our hands.
That's the number one thing to combat bacteria, which leads to, all kinds of medical issues if you're not doing that, right?
Yeah. So
what was it Kid Barry said at SRF? He was like, if you're washing your hands when you mess with stuff before you eat or wipe your butt or whatever, if you're washing your hands, you don't have to worry about parasites.
Yeah. And unless you're running around barefoot and the chicken shit and everything else, you don't have to worry about it.
Right.
So, but yeah, now the soap, your soap has to cure for what? Is it 30 days?
30 days. But I'm going to have, I'll bring some soap with me if you want to buy some. I'll have some there. But I'll have some with me to show you how to cut it, like all of the stages. I'll have it set up so you can see. We'll make some, and then that has to cure. It actually has to cure overnight, set up overnight before you can slice it. So I'll have some there that's like finished with that process and ready to slice. And yeah, that'll be good.
We have some of the fingernail pieces there.
The what?
The fingernail pieces. Remember the story?
No.
Okay. You'll remember when I tell the story. I went up to Shelly's house. It was like one of the first 2 or 3 times I went up there. And I went inside. We were going to eat.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. And so we're inside and we're going to eat. And I was like, I went to the bathroom. And I was like, I'm going to wash my hands. And there's a little dish, a little soap dish right there. And I look over at it and I'm like, what in the hell? It looked like fingernails, like dirty fingernails. And I'm like, I'm getting out of here, banjos, this kind of stuff. And I'm like, who would cut their fingernails and put them in
I'm not the crazy stalker, dude. Yeah. Come on.
So then I looked, and then I picked one up and I was like, it's soap. And I asked Shelly, I'm like, why do you have fingernails in the bathroom? She was like, that's where I shave off the bars and I do it, make them to size. And I'm like, okay. I was like, I said it looked like fingernails. So.
Like I shave off the rough edges of the soap just to make it look nice.
Yeah.
And so like, just so that doesn't go to waste, I put it in my bathroom. I don't even do that anymore. I toss it out because I accumulate so much of that stuff. But you can take it and just use it as soap. There was even a little girl at the Self-Reliance Festival. No, not Self-Reliance. Back to the Land Festival that took some of those shavings from my soap and she came back the next day and she went and made foaming soap in like one of those foaming soap things out of my soap with all those shavings in it. And it was like floating in there and looked pretty and everything. I was like, oh my God, that's a great idea.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So, and then Miss Sharon put the link up here for Retro Warrior Coffee. I am not drinking Truth in Advertising. I'm drinking 7 Brew right now because Whitney ran into town. She was like, do you want something? I was like, yes, bring me a 7 Brew. So, but yeah, run over there. If you want to try Retro Warrior Coffee out, use the code Homestead50. That'll get you 50% off a sample pack with them. So, and one of these days I'll have a coupon code that'll save you some money when you do your monthly subscription to it. But I haven't got that yet. So, let's see what Bill said. I don't know if the rain's gotten to you or not, Jason and Shelly, but it's been raining here on and off since 8. Yeah, it's been raining. It rained a little bit last night. Did it rain a little bit last night at your house?
Yeah, a little bit. But it's supposed to rain. It's supposed to start raining a lot tonight. Randy took because he took the truck to work so he could bring those tables back to your place.
Yeah.
But he took all his rain gear and ponchos and stuff because he said it was supposed to hit tonight.
Greg's sending me text messages, and I don't know what one of them meant. So, but yeah, tomorrow.
I don't know what to think about the fact that he's distracting you from your show.
I know, but I figured it might be something important. So I looked at it, but yeah, I've got to drive 3. Bill says 3 to 6 inches possible. Man, wow. I've got to drive tomorrow, so. I'm not saying where I'm driving to or anything like that, but I'm going to be driving tomorrow, and I'm not excited about driving in the rain. I'm like, this is going to suck.
You got your place all rigged up with explosives and all that, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And they're water resistant explosives. So, yeah. But I'm not going to be gone long. It's going to be a quick little trip. So, but yeah, Randy, when he came down to drop the tables, he's like, it looks like I'm getting wet tonight. I was like, that's going to suck. So.
He's got waterproof boots and gear and poncho and all that stuff, but it wouldn't be bad. Like when he drove over the road, he's just in the truck, right? But the job that he has now, he's in and out. Sometimes he moves 50 to 60 trailers a night.
Yeah.
So that means he's in and out of that truck that many times, double getting in and out. So it just sucks when it rains. It's yucky.
Oh yeah. I can imagine. So, all right. We
love Ryan Hall, Bill. He's awesome.
Yes. I'm trying to get, if anybody can get a hold of Ryan Hall, I want him to come to the next festival, but he's trying to get a hold of him. I don't know. I guess we're just going to have to drive to Pikeville and visit him one day.
Pikeville.
Yeah. We'll take all our special ops guys that we met and just take a convoy up there and be like,
we need to figure out some event that he's going to be at and just go up there and be like, listen, dude.
You mean stalk him?
That's what I'm looking at doing right now.
All right. While Shelly's looking at that, land nav class. We are having that. Mike Atkins is coming down from West Virginia. No band. He will not be bringing banjos with him, but he'll be coming from West Virginia. He's going to be doing the land nav class. He's going to be doing it November 8th and 9th. That class, I'm looking so forward to it. It's going to be fun. It's at Barren River Lake State Park. We've got a room at the lodge to have day one. It's going to be classroom stuff, how to read your maps, use your compass, how to plan your routes, all that kind of stuff. And then Sunday, we're going to be out. We've got a whole pavilion to ourselves. We're going to have it. We're going to run the course. All the stuff that you learned on the day before, we're going to put it into action. We're actually going to run the course and show you how to do all this stuff. It's going to be fun. Brian and Susan with S&B Homestead Radio are going to be up. They're going to be our comms people. So in case you get lost, we'll know where to find you. So, but if you get lost, Mike really didn't do his job the first day. So if you look at it that way, hopefully nobody gets lost.
And I'll be on here Wednesday night with Mike, and we're going to be, I'm going to be interviewing him about how to not get kidnapped, or if you are, how to get out of it, kind of thing. So you'll be able to see Mike on here. I'm going to be unsupervised.
I don't know. If everything works out, I might jump on for a minute and be like, hey, what's going on? So you never know. But yeah, Mountain Survival 1, good to have you in here. Thanks. And then Greg said he is a top tier trainer. Yes. And Mike has been teaching this class for several years. So this is not something that he just came up with and was like, oh, hey, we ought to do this. He's been teaching this to a lot of people for a long time. So tell everybody, hey, before we get on with like the main topic, tell them about Leslie's class.
So Leslie is doing an herbal class. Let me bring it up. Let me get it from the website. Hold on just a second. So the class is going to be on December
6th. That day.
Oh, that's not. Oh, that was to buy it. Full detail. Okay, here we go.
Hey, well, Mountain Survival's from Utah. We're getting people from all over the place now.
So December 6th in Bowling Green, it's going to be at the WKU Ag Expo Center, same place that we have the festival. It's going to be a Beyond the Basics herbalism class. So if you were part of our herbal class that we had, oh my gosh, it was like a year. It was in August of 2024, I think, is when we had that class. If you came to that class, you learned basics like how to make salves, tinctures, medicines, oxymels, all of that kind of stuff. She taught the basics of herbalism. So this one is like the next level. You know that stuff. And even if you didn't take that class, it's not like you're not going to learn. If you didn't have Leslie's first class, it's okay. You can still sign up and come, and she will answer whatever questions that you have. And the really cool thing about it is that then you have, this connection with her that you can email her and stuff like that. And I actually sent her a message tonight about a question that I had. I was like, I think I did this tincture wrong. Do I need to throw it out? And she hasn't messaged me back yet. But yeah, so you're going to discover your body's unique constitution, explore herbal energetics through taste, smell, and touch, match herbs with people for custom remedies, create effective herbal formulations, and refine your medicine making skills with precision. It's a hands-on workshop. You'll leave with practical tools and a deeper understanding of herbal energetics and the confidence to create remedies that truly fit your needs.
And then Melanie put up, she's got the link right there for the class. So I'm excited about that. I enjoy, anytime I get to talk to Leslie, it's always fun. So we always, and I will call her and talk to her about one specific topic, but we wind up talking about everything else too. So it's kind of like, I called to ask you about this one thing, but I'll ask her about, I don't know, dandelions. And we wind up talking about, I don't know, all kinds of, if the earth is flat or if we really landed on the moon or something like that. And it's like, why did I call you again? So, but guys, we're going to get in the main topic in a minute. Don't forget, if you need first aid supplies, first aid kits, those are on the website, in stock, ready to go. I wished I'd brought the Slishman wraps. They're sitting upstairs. I didn't bring those down. But we've got Slishman wraps, and then Greg said no and yes. So
what was the question?
Whether the earth is flat and if we landed on the moon. So Greg thinks.
You really think we landed on the moon?
Greg said yes. I don't think we landed on the moon, and I'm really kind of thinking the earth is flat. But
I don't think the earth is flat. I've flown too many times. I don't think the earth is flat, but I'm not so sure that we landed on the moon.
So, but all right, regardless of whether the earth is flat or if we landed on the moon, prepackaged radio kits, they're going to work. They're going to work regardless whether the earth is flat or whether we landed on the moon. So we've got those. We got
the most jacked up segues.
Yeah. So yeah. So, we need to do
like the earth is not flat because our radios work on it.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Now, if the earth, I don't know. There's a lot of sky
telescopic evidence. Like we saw them on the moon. Are you believing the people who told you they were on the moon?
This needs to be a short. Whether the earth is flat or whether it's round, our radios still work on it. So
that's right.
Radio package, yeah. So Greg said he still loves us anyway. So
you know that Jason's show is all about conspiracy theories. I mean, come on, dude. We got to play this out.
Yeah. I need to get what's her name? Suzanne Shires. I need to get her on one morning.
Oh my God. She loves conspiracy theory. Like, whoa.
Oh, she started bouncing in her chair when I started talking about some of it.
She gets excited, yeah.
So
you need to get her on here.
Yeah. But guys, if y'all need anything to run by, Shelly made it's comfrey that came from my food forest. We loaded it in Shelly's truck, and Shelly is the chemist behind all that made the comfrey salve. So there's comfrey salve on the website. It is amazing stuff. So I don't even have any of it yet. I should have had you bring me some Saturday. I forgot about it.
I should have.
So
I love this.
Yeah. Yeah. But that was his, he was doing it from his iPhone that hadn't been released yet, is the way he was doing it. So, and then Bill says, I didn't realize chicken math was contagious, but my wife was at the feed store today and she saw the adult roosters for sale and said she could hear them yelling, pick me.
Pick me, pick me.
Yeah. Yeah. That and the funny thing is Bill's wife might be deaf, but then she still heard it. So, all right, let's see.
Greg, there's always a little bit of truth to every conspiracy.
Well, yeah, exactly. And they do. Most of them do come true.
Yes.
So, all right. I was messing around. I was like, we need to do a show tonight. And I had a topic that I've been messing with and fleshed it out some. So
I have no idea what we're doing. So
you didn't read the
title here.
Yeah.
Right. I read the title, but I don't know. I didn't research anything. I was going to listen to you expound on this, but apparently
you can help. It's Prepper skill set checklist, 10 skills. So, and we always preach on it. It's like, you can have the newest cool stuff. You can have all this cool stuff. You can have, the water filters, the radios. If you don't know how to use it, all it is a paperweight. So
Since I'm not really, since I don't really classify myself as a prepper, I'm going to let Grok help me out here.
All right. I've never used Grok. Is Grok better than ChatGPT?
It is. I like it better.
All right. I can spell ChatGPT. I can't spell Grok. So I guess that's why I use ChatGPT.
Okay, so it's giving me a list. All right, I'm ready to talk. Let's go.
All right. First one's water stuff, water skills, because you're gonna die faster from dehydration than you are starvation, but then you're also gonna die faster from exposure. So maybe I should have put that. And then Miss Sharon is like, build a fire, purify water. Yeah. So 3 of the skills on this: find water sources in your local area, filter and purify the water, whether you're using commercial stuff, whether you're using bull, whether you're using bleach, pool shock, anything like that, and then store water for long term. So you're looking at those. Those are your 3 skill sets as far as water stuff. Find your local sources, know where they're at, and then know how to purify water more than one way. Whether you're going to use a water filter like this, whether you're going to boil it and filter it, filter it through a cheesecloth and then boil it to purify it, or if you're going to use bleach or pool shock, know how to do those things. And then also know how to store your water. I kind of get, some people are like, the water goes bad. You can only store water so long before it goes bad. And I come back with them. It's like, we're drinking the same water the Egyptians drank. Do you know that? And they're like, what? And I was like, there's the same amount of water that was on this planet when God created it as there is right now, except for the stuff that they supposedly took to the moon. I bet they left a bottle of water up there. So somebody's cooking upstairs. The smoke alarm went off.
I was going to say, is that the flight coming back from the moon? What is that?
Yeah. So, yeah, the smoke detector went off. I think Whitney's frying bacon or something like that. So, but yeah, it's like people are like, oh, your water's going to go bad. You've got to empty your containers, every year or something like that. It's like the water will not go bad. It might get contaminated to where you have to filter it if algae or something like that's growing in it. But if the water goes in a clean container and it's clean water, when it goes into a clean container, it's not going to get contaminated. Right. So, I mean, if it's me, I just filter the algae out through a coffee filter and drink the stuff. So, but now if there's bugs in it or something like that, then yes, you're going to have to purify it. So that's that. You got anything about water, Shelley? What did Grok say?
It said water sourcing and purification, know how to find, collect, and purify water using methods like boiling, filtration, chemical treatment, iodine tablets, portable purifiers, understand how to store water safely for long-term use.
Yeah.
Pretty much what you said.
Yeah. Food and security stuff. Learn
food procurement. Yep.
Yeah. So, as far as like, some of the food and self-sufficiency skills and stuff, learning like your basic gardening stuff. It doesn't do you a bit of good if you've got all these seed vaults and this kind of stuff sitting there. If you don't know how to grow your own food and know some of that stuff, those seeds are not going to do you any good. And then also preserving that harvest on how to do food preservation, canning, dehydrating, freeze drying, all that kind of stuff, preserve that stuff for you. And this is one thing that a lot of people don't know is cooking from scratch. Everybody stores, you hear all these people storing wheat berries, and it's like, okay, cool. You've got, 3 tons of wheat berries. Do you have a wheat grinder? Do you know how to cook from scratch? Do you know what to do if you grind that wheat, how to make bread? And people are going to be like, I've got 3 tons of wheat, but I don't know what to do with it.
There's a YouTube channel called 3 Rivers Homestead, and I sent it to Melanie to share on our Facebook page. Her name is Jessica, and her husband works, and she stays home with the kids, and they have 9 kids. So there's 11 of them in their house. And she does most of the homesteading stuff because he's gone to work. But like, big jobs and stuff like that, he does that, like when they have to put up fencing and all that kind of thing. But she's been doing a video series of how to save money, like making things at home instead of buying them at the store, and how to save money with that. So she's the last 3 weeks, this week was the 3rd week, and it's totaled, like, she's gotten up to like, I don't know, $175 a month in savings so far on her grocery bill. And she breaks it down, cost and everything. But the key thing about what she's doing is making stuff from scratch.
Yeah.
And people, I mean, she is saving a significant amount of money, and she got 9 kids. So, they need to be very tight with their grocery budget, right?
Yeah.
But most of the stuff is from scratch, and people just don't know. Most people shop in the center of the grocery store, and that's where all the food is at that has all the chemicals and toxins that you don't need to be putting into your body. You need to be shopping on the perimeter of the grocery store and stay out of the center, because that's all the processed foods.
Yeah. Well, it's like talking about how made from scratch is cheaper. Rich Pond Market, the little country store here, it sold several months ago to a different couple. They bought it. They did some changes on it. The guy that used to own it would make the biscuits from scratch. I mean, every morning he was in there making the biscuits, some of the most amazing biscuits ever. They did it for just a little bit, and then they switched to frozen biscuits, these Pillsbury frozen biscuits. And I'm like, and I was in there the other morning grabbing a biscuit, and the owner was there, and I told him, I'm like, hey, I was like, your biscuits are not near as good as the other ones. And he's like, I know. He's like, we've had people complain. I'm like, go back to the handmade from scratch biscuits. And he told me, he said, they are cheaper to do the from scratch biscuits than buy these frozen ones. And he was like, but the thing is, we have different people of a morning sometimes that make the biscuits. And then he was like, the quality will be different depending on who's
They're not making it the same.
Yeah. And I'm just like, okay. But he did. And the reason I brought that up, he did say that the from scratch biscuits were cheaper to make.
He needs to just hire like a biscuit making grandma or something that'll just come in and do the morning biscuits and then go home.
Yeah. Hire some like 70 or 80-year-old woman and put her little flowered apron on and just make biscuits every morning.
Yep.
So,
all right. From scratch is a skill that people don't have, and they need it. Yeah.
Exactly. And then one of the other things that I've got on here is no nutritional stuff. Know your nutrition. Dr. Ken Berry talked about this. You got your junk food, your what do you call it? Starvation food.
Yep.
Starvation food.
And then your optimal food.
Yeah. So know that. Yes, everybody's got, wheat, beans, and rice and stuff like that you're going to have. That's like starvation, your total backup food. That's not your optimal food. And you really want to be in there and not just sustaining yourself. You want to go on beyond just sustainment and starvation food. So when I'm looking at it, it's like, how can we put proteins and stuff like that, actual meat? That's one of the reasons I bought a freeze dryer, was to be able to freeze dry our own food that we raise here, where I've got, optimum food in a grid down situation. Or if you got a job loss or something, it's like, cool, we got a job loss, but I got freeze dried pork chops that we raised, and we can rehydrate those things and go.
Yeah.
Let's see. Churn Dash Farm. Made the biscuit dough from scratch, cut them out, and freeze them. Best of both worlds.
There you go. Solution solved.
Yeah. And I tell you what, my mom has done that a bunch. She would make a couple batches of biscuits. When she was keeping Lincoln, she kept Lincoln for a while when he was younger, and he loves gravy and biscuits. And she would do that. She would freeze the biscuits, and then in the morning she'd pull them out and cook them. And he thought that Granny made fresh biscuits every morning when he came down. So
she's like, she loves me. She makes me fresh biscuits every day.
Yeah. So she took one day and did all of it, and then she'd just thaw them out and cook them. So
there you go.
Some of the stuff, medical and first aid skills. We harp on that a bunch. Medical stuff is not sexy. It's not, but it's one of those things that you got to have. Basic first aid and trauma stuff. You know, your CPR, bleeding control. You know how to keep somebody from bleeding out and dying right then, and then wound care. Your longer term wound care. How to do stuff like that. You know, your personal first aid kit that you've got. What you've got. Build your own first aid kit to your specifications and what you need in there for your personal stuff. And then this one goes, it's kind of like we planned our workshops around this. The next one kind of that I wrote down was natural remedies, herbal stuff. So
that's not on the list, but that's a good one.
I beat the AI.
You did.
So I want to start my own.
Well, it says consider training in wilderness medicine. So that's kind of that, right? And stocking basic medications. I
guess. But, you know, natural remedies and herbal stuff. That is amazing stuff to know. I mean, one of these days.
Go ahead.
One of these days, all the pharmaceutical stuff is going to run out. And honestly, the pharmaceutical stuff is not near as good for you as the herbal stuff. So know how to do the herbal stuff.
Tonight I went out to the barn, and before we had our meeting, and I was checking on my little piglets that I got, and there was a board in there that had a nail sticking up, which the board was down, and I just picked it up. I was moving stuff around where the pigs were at, and I threw it outside of that little stall, and then I went over there to get them some more food, and I stepped on the board with the nail.
Oh.
And oh my God, it hurt so bad. And it still aches a little bit right now. But when I came inside, so I'm looking it up, and I've had a tetanus shot and all that. And I'm looking it up, and it says, to make sure that you clean it real good. And if it bled real good, that's a good sign, because, it's like pushing all the stuff out that went in or whatever. But so I cleaned it out, and I was talking to Melanie before you got on there. I was like, this is what I did. Does this work? Because Melanie's a nurse, right?
Yeah.
But I cleaned it out real good with peroxide, and then I put drawing salve on it that I had gotten from somebody at the festival that sells that stuff. And she was like, oh yeah, that's a great idea. So right now that's what I'm doing. Now, if I wake up tomorrow and it's all swollen and I can't walk, I may be taking a trip to the ER, but for right now, we'll see if it works.
Yeah. So let's see. Bill said our convenience food is meal cooked from scratch, made in mind to have enough to put in 1 or 3. Yeah, 1 or 3 freezer meals. That's the way to do it. When we got leftover stuff, typically I'll take it. If it doesn't get eaten about 2 days, I take it and run it through the freeze dryer. And that's the best way to do it instead of throwing it out.
Since Randy and I are the only one home, we'll cook a big meal and then just eat on it all week long.
Yeah. And Greg is bringing homemade sourdough.
Awesome.
Well, and then Miss Sharon says, now's the time to gather rabbit tobacco and goldenrod.
What is rabbit tobacco?
I don't know.
Gotta Google.
That's what Jim that's at the bottom of the rabbit hole smokes. That he doesn't know what the hell's going on either. So while you're Googling.
Oh, it's a thing. It's like a plant.
I thought it was. I've heard of it.
You're smoking crack. You have not heard of it.
I have too. Or was that Wacky Backer? Or
I think you probably heard of Wacky Backer.
Yeah.
Apparently it smells good. It says that whoever did this video, it says I can never stop sniffing this plant.
Yeah, that's a little weird.
Yeah.
All right. Gary, good to have you in here. And then Miss Sharon said some people call it life everlasting or pearly everlasting.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I've seen pearly everlasting.
No, you haven't.
Yes, I have. Because when Leslie came to my farm, we talked about that. It says it's a sedative and mild pain reliever and may even stop diarrhea.
Wow. Interesting. I might have some of that here. I know I got goldenrod. Wow.
Okay.
Last stuff on my list.
Okay.
Communication, navigation, and community. And we talk about all this kind of crap. It's, your comms stuff. Have a comms plan. I've talked about doing comms plans, stuff like that. Have your radios, basic radios, whether you're going to do FRS, your family radio service, GMRS, ham, if you're going to do CB, whatever. Have that stuff, know how to use it. Take a class on learning how to use it. Don't just buy the thing and set it on the charger and don't know how to use it. It's useless. It's paperweight. Get the training for it. That's an awesome skill. Even if your radio, craps the bed and it's not useful anymore and somebody's got one that's a little bit different than yours, the basic scales. Yes. Greg, did you hit it? Yeah.
Or you did.
Yeah.
It's been rescheduled, Greg, after the first of the year.
Yeah. We've got to talk. I called Brian today, but he said, he was like, I'll have to call you back. And Brian never called me back. So I'll probably call Brian tomorrow while I'm working or while I'm driving. But get not just owning that radio. If you don't know how to use it, it's useless. Navigation. Just because you've got a compass, you don't know how to use it. Come to the comms class. That thing is going to be cool. Navigation, a lot of people are going to be like, well, I'm not planning on bugging out. I'm not planning on bugging out, but I might have to one of these days. So the navigation part is going to be something that you can use. And then community. Community is one of the big things. You've got to have enough people. You're not going to do the lone wolf stuff. Even if it's just you and your wife, you're not going to do two people doing it. It's going to take an actual community of people to get through some of the things that, we're probably looking at in the very near future. Shelly, you can talk about community. We preach it all the times. Yeah,
it's funny. When we tell people, not just our festival, any festival, and we go to different festivals. I've been out to Midwest Preparedness. I've been up to Jeff's in Ohio, SRF, Back to the Land, all of that stuff. And having community is one of the most important things because you cannot do it all. I think about that. I was telling Greg when we were at the festival about that pig that we were having problems with it, and I didn't know how to take care of it. And I called you, and you put me in touch with Bubby, and Bubby told me what to do, and it worked. And he didn't even know me. He's like, try that. He even called back like 2 days later to make sure my pig was okay, because I couldn't get a vet out here to see him. You need to be plugged into a community, and you might think that you can do all this stuff on your own, but you can't. And I promise you, if you go to every time we go to festivals, no matter where they're at, there will be somebody there that is close to me or somebody I'm at the point now where festivals are like family reunions to me. Like I go out to Midwest and I get to see all the crew out there, Patty and Darren. And now Callie Blackwell is out there. And Grumpy Acres is out there, and Spags and Data, and all of them. I get to see all of them. And then you go down to SRF, and that whole crew is down there. It's just, they're like family reunions. You have to have community. If you don't, you're just going to go crazy. You're going to be like in a vacuum.
Oh, yeah. Callie, I saw Callie, and she came and gave me a big old hug. She's like, what are you doing? So we talked for a few minutes, and it's like you get to see all the people that you don't get to see, but, a couple times a year sometimes.
Yeah, and you want to know something cool? So Callie was at SRF, and I don't know if you all have seen her book. She wrote this book called The Boy in 7 Billion because her son had 2 very rare forms of cancer that had never happened before. Like people don't get these kind of cancers, let alone get them both at the same time. And he was young when all this was going on, and he almost died. And the book tells the whole story, but she pretty much saved his life with marijuana. He was at the festival. He was at SRF. He lives in England, but he was over here visiting, And I got to meet him and talk to him. And that kid, like he's only in his mid-20s now, and he is a wealth of information about food, just about how to properly cook your food and what, nutrients in food and just all of this kind of stuff. And I told Callie, I said, so all the stuff he's telling us right now, you're going to make shorts or something on this, right? Because I'm going to forget this when I get home. And she was like, yeah, I got it. But oh my God, he is so stinking smart. And it was great meeting him. You need community.
Yeah. And Carrie, these, the radios on the website, are they sufficient to use in these types of situations? Yes. These radios will work. They are not dependent on the grid, the cell networks, anything like that. If you've got questions, you can email me. Just do the contact form on the website. If you've got questions, email me. I can answer any of those questions for you. But we've got handheld radios like these. We've got base station radios, which typically you can put in your car or you can put in the house. They're going to get farther distances and stuff like that. But any of the questions, just shoot me an email and I can answer you. But yes, these radios will work. They're not dependent on cell phone networks, anything like that. The only thing that you got to have to keep these running is a power source to charge the batteries. And now these are the handheld units are on the back. It's a USB-C charging. So, I mean, you can charge these with a solar generator if you want to. I've charged them before with one of the little power bricks. You can charge them with that. That's what this power brick is bought specifically for my little Condition 1 case that I've got a bunch of radios in. I keep it in there, and it'll charge the radios if one of them goes dead. So, but yes, they will work. And then Greg, KSL is the best for community. You guys are the only group that is actively growing. Thanks, Greg. We're trying. I mean, you've got to go through. The thing is, you've got to run through a lot of people. It's kind of like dating, kind of thing. It runs through what? You didn't like the first person you went on a date with. It wasn't the person you married. I mean, unless you're from Edmonson County, and then that was your brother or your sister. So.
Randy was the third boyfriend I had, and I married him.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. But yeah, so I mean, it's kind of like dating. You run through all kinds of people until you find somebody. It's like, hey, this person will work with our community. And you also need a ton of people. You can't just have 4 or 5 people for a whole community. So it's just building and doing.
Bill, that's a great question, because I was going through recently cleaning out and purging stuff, and we were having a big yard sale and stuff, and I was getting rid of a bunch. I have a CB base station that my dad had bought because he was going to set it up in his house, and he passed away before that happened. He just never got it done. But I messaged Jason and I said, so would there possibly be a use for this CB radio thing? And he was like, yeah. He said, don't get rid of that. So definitely, yeah. I mean, and you don't have to have a license to run a CB radio. It just doesn't have the reach that ham radios have,
Yeah. Unless you peak and tune it kind of thing, and then you hit. You
got a big antenna, right?
Yeah. Well, there's guys that used to hit Cuba and stuff like that.
Wow.
So I remember the old guys, they're like, yeah, we hit Cuba sometimes and stuff like that. And I was like, that's pretty cool. Carrie says, yes, the power bricks. Yeah, the power bricks work great for charging these things. This one is a 20,000 milliamp power brick. And I did some rough, like down and dirty electric math on it. It will charge this radio. I think I've got 5 or 6 of these in my box. And I think it'll charge each one once or twice. So, and the batteries last a heck of a long time on these units. And it takes time to build online community support. Stay with you or find a good job. Thank you. But yeah, and I'll tell you what, all this stuff that we've just covered, the big thing is, if you don't have the mindset to do this, you're not going to do any of it. It all comes down to the mindset of being able being able to have that mentality of, hey, I can do this. I'm going to do it, and we're going to figure this out. If you're one of these people, it's like, oh, it would be nice. I would love to build community, but I'm going to come home after my job at 5 o'clock and sit in a recliner and watch football. It's like, you're never going to get any of this accomplished. You have to get out of your house. You have to get and meet people and do stuff like that. And it's like, or I can sit in my recliner, but man, I wished I had a year's supply of food. The only way that year's supply of food is going to show up is if you call Mountain House or something like that and get it delivered. So, but
you're not going to get quality food. You're not going to get quality calories.
Yeah. I mean, but the mindset's the biggest thing. So, then Bill says, yeah, like what I was talking about. When I was a kid, we used to skip signals all over the world in certain conditions. So you can't, and it all depends when you're dealing with that, because your CB is running on 11 meters is what your CB is running. And then you can do 10 meter on ham radios, and it's technically an HF, a high frequency. And that's one where you're bouncing it off the ionosphere and then coming back down, or the firmament if we believe the world's flat. So either way, it's shooting up in the air and it's bouncing off something and coming back down. So you can skip. I mean, heck, you can take an HF radio with like 5 watts and talk to people all the way across the world. It's crazy the stuff you can do. So, I mean, we talked about it a little bit at the festival when we were sitting at the picnic table with Greg. I was like, I strung up a wire antenna that's 8 foot off the ground, and I was talking to people in Michigan, talking to people in Atlanta, Ohio, and everything. And it's just like, it's so cool that you can do it. You don't have to have a 1,000-foot tower and spend, $100,000 on this tower just to talk to people 500 miles away. It's literally a little bitty radio and a wire hung up in the tree, and you can talk all kinds of places. So,
have you got more things on your list?
That's all I've got. What a Grok!
I actually have some stuff on on my list or Grok's list that you didn't talk about.
Well, mine's not all encompassing.
So you didn't talk about shelter building, which is just, knowing how to construct a temporary shelter in case you need to. And then it says self-defense and security. That's a big one. Making sure that you can defend yourself. And then basic survival tool use and maintenance, how to take care of your tools and stuff. That's a good idea. And then this one is really important, though. Mental resilience and problem solving.
That's mindset.
Like, do you have a way to take care? I mean, if something does happen, cat, get out of the way. If something does happen, like you live your life, everything's cool and all of that kind of stuff. But how well are you in a high stress situation? Like think about, the last time that you had an emergency that you had to deal with in your family or with yourself or whatever. How did you deal with that? Did you freak out? I know with me personally, I deal with stressful situations really well when they're happening. And then when it's over, I crash. That's when I lose it. If I'm going to cry, that's when I'm going to cry. I might sleep for a couple of days, or I just crash. I can deal with it when it's happening. I can take care of the medical emergency or whatever. I can do those things. But when it's done or it's out of my care or I'm not responsible for it anymore, I just crash. So do examine how you deal with stress. And so, because in a grid down situation, there's going to be a lot of stressful times.
Oh, yeah.
Not to mention the fact that you might have to be the leader of your family. Yeah. You might be the one that everybody's looking to, everybody's relying on. How are you going to be able to deal with that? The stress of that, because that's a lot of stress too.
Yeah.
So, mental resilience and even coming up with ways to deal with things, or not deal with things, but like I always say, you can't pour into others if your cup is empty. Well, what are the things that you do to fill your cup? And that's kind of this. What are the things that you do to make you mentally resilient? That might be education. It might be workshops. It might be getting training. It might be doing preps and stocking up on stuff. It might be talking to other people, becoming a part of a community, making sure that you know somebody that has medical expertise and stuff like that. That might be the things that help you to become more resilient. You need to figure out where the gaps are in your stuff, and you need to plug them with those things that's going to help you be able to make it day to day if something happens. And then the whole problem solving thing. Oh my gosh, problem solving abilities in our country today. It's like, I don't know if it's that schools don't teach it. I am kind of the opinion that problem solving, people are inherently good at it or just bad at it. Like some people, their brains are wired to be problem solvers, and some people aren't. And it's scary because I think that a majority of the population is not. So what are you doing to increase your problem solving skills and increase your problem solving skills in your children?
Yeah. Well, now I tell you, I am horrible. Well, okay, I'm great with problem solving, and I'm the problem solving person. I mean, you work with me enough. It's like, if there's a problem, let's figure out. I will come home and my wife something will have gone wrong, and she's telling me about it. And I'm thinking in my head, I'm like, how can we fix this? And I'm like, what do you need me to do? What can I do to fix this? And it's nothing that I can do. It's, you got to sit and listen sometimes. But I'm like, okay, how do we fix this? I'm constantly looking about that. Sometimes it's a pain.
Yeah, right here, Bill. That's it. They're failing to teach critical thinking at any educational level. But I totally agree with that. But not any more than I agree with the fact that it's our responsibility to be in charge of our children's education. Yeah. So, and I know some people struggle with that, and they say, I'm not a teacher, so, but it's still our responsibility to make sure that our kids are getting the skill, especially the life skills that they need, because they're not going to get life skills at school at all.
No. Carrie's got about firearms. We did not discuss firearms, but if somebody wants to, if we want to do that, I will do that one morning. Maybe I can get Greg on, and Greg, we can do a whole firearms discussion. We just won't be able to touch anything. So we'll do that one morning, or we might do it one night. Get Greg on here. I bet Greg would do it for us. So, but Carrie, we will cover that soon. I promise. I will make notes. Go.
What is RGR?
Roger.
Oh, I even Googled it and didn't get anything that I thought made sense.
It's Roger. So,
like all these acronyms, I have no idea what they mean.
Yeah. Yes, we will get that in the works. And Greg said he will do it for us. So, I mean, I know a lot about firearms. I probably don't know near as much as Greg, but two people doing it together are better than one. So it just sucks that you can't touch any firearms on a YouTube live. So how are the pigs doing? Tell us about, since you got in here late, tell us about the little pigs you got.
So my neighbor messaged me, I think it was on Friday, the lady that lives in the house over there. She messaged me and she said, "Hey, I have a friend that has piglets. Do you want some?" And I said, "Well, what kind does she have?" She sent, hold on a minute, I gotta tell you what she sent me, because I was like, I have no idea what you're talking about. Let's see. Sweeney. I said, do you know what kind they are and how much she wants for them? And she goes, "They're Sweeney and Guinea." And I was like, I said, well, I've never heard of Sweeney, but I'm sure there's pig breeds I've never heard of before. I don't know, like whatever. And I said, well, how many does she have? And she's like, she has 15. So the woman started out with 23 from 2 sows, 23 piglets. And she had gotten rid of she got rid of 8. So, anyways, they're not Sweeney. I don't know. It's whatever. I think my friend was just confused, but so they're American Guinea Hog mix and Kune mix. And I've been looking for something. I've been looking at Kunis, but I've been looking for something that is smaller because our hogs get up to like 500 and 600 pounds, and they're big and scary. I mean, they're not going to like stampede you or whatever, but like if Randy got out there, our pigs are kind of on a little hillside. And if Randy got out there and fell, they would trample him. I mean, they're big. And, so I've been kind of worried about that. And not that Randy would fall. It could be me. If I got out there and fell, they'd trample me too. But, like we're old and we don't need big animals like that. It's just, I don't know. They just kind of scare me. So, and not only that, big hogs will tear your crap up. They root and make it look like the surface of the moon. It is, that one that we didn't land on. It is like it's desolate out there where the pigs are at. It looks awful. So I wanted something that grazes and something that's a little bit smaller. The trade-off, and we can do a show about this, but the trade-off is that big hogs like Yorkshire, Berkshire, Gloucester, Old Spot, those kind of hogs, they grow out really fast. Yeah. Like they can get big. They can get to a butcher weight like of 200 to 300 pounds in about 9 months. And Kunis, it takes them about 18 months to grow out to get to a butcher weight. And then they only get to like about 250, 300 pounds. I mean, Bill Warner, he can probably tell most about it. But I just don't want those big hogs anymore. And so if I can get it like staged that they're growing out at different times, then we should be able to have a couple hogs per year that we can butcher and, have that graduation of this one's big enough now and this one's big enough now and all of that kind of thing. So I do want to find, so I got 4 females because my daughters wanted a pig, and each one of my daughters, and then 3 of my daughters wanted a pig. I got 4 females and I got an intact male. So I want to find a Kune female and then make that my breeding pair, because the American Guinea Hog, they have good lard. Yeah. So, and I use my pig's lard to make my soap. That's one of my ingredients in my soap. So that's one of the reasons I like the big hogs, because I got a lot of lard. But yeah, so I'm really excited about it. And they're so cute. They look like chipmunks. Oh my God. They look like little they have stripes on them like chipmunks. They look like Chip and Dale. Yeah. They're cute as can be.
Bill, you don't have to apologize for not making it in. It's fine. As long as you get here sometime, I'm good with it. So, but yeah, now those Julianas, they look like some of them looked like little chipmunks when I had those little Juliana piglets. So, hey, I could give you Marcus. You want Marcus?
I don't want Marcus.
All right. Marcus is pitiful down there by himself.
Hey, let me share it. Let me show you all a picture of them.
You forgot you could share stuff.
Yeah, I'm excited about that. Hold on a minute. Where's okay, share. You got to click like 15 things, but here it is. Aren't they cute?
They are. I saw that this morning.
Oh my God, they're so stinking cute. There's 4 of the, I don't even know what they call that. It's kind of like boxers or something. What is that? Like
brindle
or yeah, something like that. And then there's one just solid black one, because all of the other, we only got 5 of them, and all of the other brindle ones that they had were males. So I got a black female too.
Oh,
but they're so cute.
Man, I tell you what, the things, if you've got a breeding pair, I mean, you can be overrun with pigs quick.
Well, and apparently they have big litters or something. I mean, geez.
So. Wow.
She only had 2, and the 2 mamas, the daddies look like coonies, but the mamas look like American guinea hogs.
Yeah.
And but those 2 mamas, there were 23 piglets between the 2 mamas.
Bill's not feeding his coonies too much. 4 cups of soap pellets a day.
Yeah, and that's another thing. Like with my big hogs, we have to expend a lot of feed on them, and I'm hoping that we can cut that in half, because like we're going to start out, Randy's putting some chicken wire around the fencing that goes around my garden. And then we're just going to turn them loose in the garden, because it's like grown up with weeds and all that stuff. And we're just going to have them clear out the garden and make it ready for the spring while they're growing. And they have that whole area out there just to eat all that stuff.
Yeah, that'll work. Bill said those stripes make them look like a wild pig DNA.
That's what somebody commented on my post that I put on Facebook, that she said a wild hog, because it reminded her of that too. She said a wild hog had gotten in with her pigs and mated with her pig, with her female.
Wow.
So now she's like, I don't even know what these pigs are going to look like when they come out. She's like, I'm kind of freaking out a little bit.
I don't know. I mean, you might get some good stuff, you never know.
She said the wild pig that got in there was called a Piney Woods Rooter.
Really?
And got in with her American guinea hog. So
wow.
She's like, I guess we'll see in 3.5 months.
Yeah. Bill said the American guinea hogs eat about 4 pounds twice a day. That's a lot of feed, 8 pounds a day. So you'll just have to see.
We feed our big hogs. We feed them. We have a 5-pound scoop, and we feed them. Each one of them gets a 5-pound scoop twice a day.
Well, you can go through a lot of darn feed that way.
Yeah.
So, all right.
But they're going to freezer camp soon, so.
Yeah, we need to start figuring out processing workshops too. So we got processing workshops coming up when it gets cold.
I have a life besides this, right?
Well, hey,
am I going to be able to celebrate Christmas?
Yeah, we're not going to do anything around Christmas. I mean, I'll give you the 24th and the 25th.
Like, you have booked up every one of my weekends. I'm going to be seeing you more than I see my husband, and I don't know how I feel about that.
Well, bring Randy along. Well, you're going to see, I mean, some of this you're going to see Melanie, and some of it you're going to see Greg.
I'm excited about seeing Melanie. I'm excited about seeing Greg. I just see you a lot.
I know. Well, I do what I can. So, yeah. All right, guys, that's all I've got. Shelly, thank you for coming on tonight.
No problem.
I don't know if I like doing nights or mornings better.
I feel like, because I'm not a night person, I'm a morning person. And I feel like when I do these night shows, I just sit and yawn. And I'm not super tired, but it's like this is when I'm winding down. And I will log off of this and go straight to the bed. I mean, because I'm just usually in bed by now.
I've got several other things to do before I go to bed. So,
well, you're getting ready to, whatever.
Yeah. I gotta run tomorrow and do some things out of town. Not super excited, but it is what it is.
Is it meat birds, Bill?
Huh? Oh.
He said my chickens eat more feed than my pigs do. I only have that problem if I'm raising meat birds.
Well, look, Greg said Desiree already went to bed.
That's me. I'm getting ready to hit the bed.
Oh, yeah. I'll be up. I probably will not go to bed till midnight tonight. So.
I'd be worthless. What time are you getting up tomorrow?
I'll leave by 7. So.
You better go to bed.
It'll be all right. So. All right, guys. I appreciate it. Shelly is going to be on 100% for sure on Wednesday night. with the
Mike
badass,
Adkins.
the badass himself, Mike Adkins.
That's
And
right.
if I can get freed up, I might jump in for a few minutes. So it is set up. It's going to be 8 o'clock Central Time. It is already set up in StreamYard. I've already set it up.
So you can go click on that and either on my channel or Jason's channel and just click. It'll notify you when it starts. So go ahead and go click on that so you get that notification and you don't forget about it.
Yeah. So guys, y'all can see Shelly, and I'll probably jump in for a minute Wednesday night. Friday, I don't know if I will be on Friday or not. So we'll play that by ear. So it might be Friday morning or it might be Friday night. Yeah, tell badass I said hi. So, but guys, we appreciate it a bunch. Y'all be careful. I hope we get some good rain and hopefully no tornadoes or any kind of stuff like that. But guys, we appreciate you and we will see y'all soon. Good night.